Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Daily Drawing. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about style. Now, I want to welcome you to today's episode 27 of 100, because it is a challenge that we are trying to do, draw every day for 100 days to get better as an artist. And with that, that fills right into style. One of the things that I have found is so helpful when it comes to drawing and this challenge is to be able to actually draw from different people. Now, one of the things with this book that I'm drawing from, it's a compilation of a whole bunch of different artists, so there's a lot of styles that get to be observed and drawn from, which I found very helpful in developing my own style on how I want to draw hands or eyes or feet or something like that, because style is such a huge topic when it comes to artists and incoming artists and stuff like that. It is one of the biggest requests and questions that I get in school. How can I find my style? I'm trying to find my style. I don't know how to do style. When will I get a style? And the thing that I always tell my students is you should stop trying to chase style and learn the fundamentals of drawing. Because once you know how to draw, it's going to be so much easier to adapt a style or two or three, because you know how to draw. So you can see when people are drawing eyes a certain way, you know why, or how they've altered it or changed it, something like that. So my advice to everyone is learn how to draw the fundamentals first, and then style after. Now, with that said, style is actually how your hand interprets what your eye is seeing, right? So if you were to go into a classroom and ask 20 students to draw a still life, each one of them are going to draw it a certain way. It really works well with trees. If you tell a group of people to draw a tree, and this tree, the one that they're looking at, every single one of them is going to draw it differently, because the way that they are interpreting, the way their brain and hand are interpreting what they're looking at will be different from each person based on experience, based on their environment, where they came from and stuff like that. So everyone has a style. You might not like your style, but I'm telling you that everyone has a style, because the way you draw, that is your style. Now, if you're trying to find and develop a recognizable style, then there are ways to go about doing that. One, draw a lot. For instance, take part in this 100-day challenge so that you are forced to draw every single day. And not only does it force you to draw every single day, but you also get to fill up your sketchbook, which is always a plus. Because if you're like me, sketchbooks have been really hard to fill, and so by doing stuff like this, it really helps fill out sketchbooks. Also, you should look and study artists that you like. It is very important that you study them, because you like them for a reason, and you need to figure out what that reason is, right? It might be how dynamic their drawings are. It might be how they draw hair or hands or the full body or special powers of the face. It doesn't matter, but there's something about what they do that you really do enjoy. And because of that, you should draw their style. So as we referred to in a different video about copying people and tracing people, to study, this is a good way to build on developing your style, because the more you draw like them, the more that your brain will keep that information and store it into your visual library so that you can pull upon it when required. So if you draw a certain way like Jim Lee, and you've been drawing trees like Jim Lee, and then someone asks you to draw a tree, you are going to draw a Jim Lee tree, right? And so if you want to be able to have aspects of Jim Lee, well, then you should study Jim Lee. But here's the thing that you have to remember when it comes to drawing like somebody. If you only are influenced by one person, well, then you will be a clone of that person, right? And because of that, well, they already have that person. Jim Lee already exists, so they'll probably just go get Jim Lee instead of you. So what you want to do is be able to be influenced by a whole gamut of people that you like. And you will realize that as you are studying different people, so if you liked Jim Lee, but then also like Mike Mignola, they're very different artists. But the more that you start drawing and studying from both of them, you will start combining them into how you draw. So when you are not studying and someone says, hey, draw a tree or draw a person, you will be taking aspects of both of those artists. And of course your experience and how you want to draw and stuff like that. And that will become your style. And you can always work and change and develop your style as you move forward. But the key is to keep drawing. It is very, very important that you draw and you study. That is going to help you develop your style like no one's business. So that is my advice. Draw and study the artists you like, and you will develop your style. Well, that wraps it up for today. I hope that you got something from this little rant that I did, and that if you have any questions or want something answered, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below, and I will get right to it. I want to say thank you all so very much, and I will see you at the next episode.